Okay, Nate, tell us what you think is the most important thing our folks learned on this trip.
When I put this beef tour together, I was focused on two issues mainly, and that is water management and forage management. We don't think about that as really being primary management keys for Alabama. Although it is important, it's not as much of a priority for us as other issues that we have. And when you come to a dry, arid climate like they have in Nevada, those priorities surpass all others. And so that has been the goal of the beef tour when I started planning the trip to Nevada. And I think that our producers and our members and our farmers have really come away with a new appreciation for the amount of water and forage that we do have available in Alabama, and that hopefully they can focus even more on quality of those resources and take advantage of what we do have.
If you would, just string together a sentence about the unusual part, like our water compared to theirs, rainfall compared to theirs, how adaptable their cattle are and how well they do, and what we perceive as just a little bit of grass, just in a kind of condensed sentence.
When you compare the two states, you think about how different they are. Very little population and a lot of population of people, but then there's also vast differences in the agricultural sections. When you compare Nevada to Alabama, we have more cows and more beef produced in Alabama, but when you compare the annual rainfall, when we're getting, around 50 inches a year, there's many places in Nevada that are only getting 5 inches a year. When our forage is producing tons to the acre, they're taking acres to the ton in their forage. And we have just a classic case where we have a lot of quantity of forage in Alabama, and they have a lot of quality of forage in Nevada. When you look at the different types of forages, most of our forage is going to range from 8 to 10 or 12% in the very best years. Here, when we're looking at this, some of the alfalfa that they'll graze and some of the range grasses that we've seen, some of the bunch grasses, they're upwards of 15% protein that actually is a lot stronger, even though it doesn't look like very much.
And if you would, if you could string together a sentence about the guy that we visited that had one cow for every 300 acres versus us in Alabama.
To put a little more perspective on the differences we have between our two climates, we visited a ranch where it took upwards of 150 acres per cow-calf pair or per animal unit to support that cow for the entire year. And in many places in Alabama, we're looking at a ratio that's 1 cow per 2 or 3 acres, if not less. And that is very, very hard to imagine for somebody who's never been to Nevada and been to the West and seen it firsthand. When you think about it takes 140,000 acres to run 400 head of cows, it's very, very difficult to grasp unless you come to Nevada and see it for yourself.
And then one other thing, the adaptability about the cattle.
One of my favorite things every year with the beef tour is to highlight just how adaptable cattle actually are. Every beef tour we go on, we see how well this species is adapted to its environment. And we are very fortunate to work in a business that allows us this flexibility. When you have cattle that can make it in this environment, in Nevada that's very dry and arid, and you have the same animal that can make a very good living, very good product in Alabama, where it's a very lush environment, it's just incredible to be reminded of that year after year in every place we go. And it's one of my favorite parts of the beef tour, is just to see how the adaptability of cattle are everywhere. Or the adaptability of cattle is just the adaptability of cattle is very impressive, and it's good to be a reminder of that every year.
Right, and how many people will we have on the tour this year, and where's next year's tour?
Oh, I don't know where I'm going next year.
Okay, so how many people we have? 47 plus 3?
Yeah, 47.
50.